Hey guys, what is going on? I hope you all are doing well today. I'm doing great myself. Elliot here. Welcome back to the Fragrance Well. So guys, I don't know about you, but one of my favorite functionalities, if you will, of fragrances is just that they can serve a function better or more than just simply smelling good. One of the favorite things I like about a lot of the fragrances I have is they can literally enhance my mood. So that's today's topic. Mood enhancing fragrances. Now, just like fragrances are subjective, so is this category of fragrances, if you will. What may be a mood enhancer for me may not necessarily be a mood enhancer for you, but I'm going to share my thoughts on it. First and foremost, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and remember to hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I upload new content. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so welcome back. So what I did here, I've got 8 fragrances total. 4 of them are going to be more kind of brighter, let's just call them warm weather fragrances, something that I may consider spraying kind of like first thing in the morning. And then I've got 4 that are a little bit darker, a little bit richer, heavier, maybe sweeter. So maybe something that I would consider spraying in the evening. But all of them I think can enhance your mood. Honestly, I think any fragrance has the potential to enhance your mood. These are just ones I singled out for today's video. So without further ado, first up, we're gonna go with this one right here. This is called Bonnie from Day 3 Fragrances. Bonnie from Day 3 Fragrances. So this is one of my latest additions. Talked about the house a little bit with a previous fragrance I talked about. So first off, this one right here is Vacation in a Bottle. I love scents that put me in a vacation mood, whether I'm on vacation or not, because they automatically enhance my mood at least. So this fragrance here is going to feature notes like mango and mango leaf. It's not really a sweet and super fruity mango. It's more of that kind of green mango smell, kind of as if you got a mango and it's not quite ripe yet. It's more reminiscent of that in my opinion. You've also got some coconut in here, a little bit of citrus mixing in with that mango to give it that pop, but there's some coconut giving it that kind of tropical vacation-like vibe. Some very nice relaxing florals, and then you got kind of a sugary, dried down, and a lot of white musk to blend with it as well. Very relaxing fragrance, very uplifting fragrance, and as I already stated, it's a vacation style scent. To me, any scent that kind of achieves that vacation vibe is going to be something that's a mood enhancer, whether you're on vacation or not. So once again, from Day 3 Fragrances, we've got Bonnie. Alright, so let's just go back and forth from a brighter fragrance to a darker fragrance. From the house of Tom Ford, we've got Noir Extreme. Tom Ford Noir Extreme. I do think the parfum might be a better, I don't know, richer version of this type of fragrance on this list, but I do not have the parfum yet. I'm going to get it, I just don't have it yet, but I still think this one works as well. Very spicy, kind of gourmand. A very nice light sweetness with this one, where the parfum is a little bit richer. Has that infamous Kulfi Accord, which if you've ever had Kulfi, I think the ice cream is delicious. It's basically a pistachio ice cream native to the Indian culture. This one definitely captures that very well. Has some rose, has some sandalwood. It is just a uplifting, albeit sexy and date night centered kind of fragrance. But even though it kind of serves that evening wear type of purpose, I think the scent really can be uplifting. It's definitely a warmer take versus a brighter one, you know, something you would wear in the morning to brighten up your day. This is mellowing out the day. That's kind of how I look at it when you talk about the warmer, sweeter, evening wear fragrances that I think can enhance your mood. That's when this one does. Almost like a comfort food, if you will. This one is comforting but also uplifting. So once again, this is Noir Extreme from the house of Tom Ford. All right, next up, coming from the house of Xerjoff, we've got Neo from the Shooting Stars collection. Xerjoff Neo. So this one shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. I know this one has been in the community, a staple in the community for a long time. Beautiful, bright citrus opening combining with some very fresh spices. And then the fragrance has a very green, kind of soapy, floral mid and heart to it. I think that brightness and that soapiness that this fragrance has, especially with the addition of those fresh spices, makes this fragrance very uplifting, especially if you're spraying it on like first thing in the morning. I know every time I wear this, I haven't had it for too long, but I've been familiar with the fragrance for a while now, and every time I wear it, it just, definitely lifts up my mood. I definitely like to wear it when I'm gonna be outside a lot. I wore this recently when I was playing some golf outside, and it kept me in a very bright and excited mood to play golf, even though we were playing on a course that had some very questionable holes on it. I'm not gonna point out the course, but yeah, it was it could have been very stressful, but I love wearing this fragrance. I think it is very uplifting and definitely a mood enhancer choice if that's something you want to go for. So once again, from the house of Xerjoff, this is Neo. All right, so moving on back to a evening uplifting fragrance. We've got Hypnotizing Fire from The Harmonist. Hypnotizing Fire from The Harmonist. So this is another one, like I said, kind of evening wear centered. Could be a nice date night fragrance, but even though this is more of a spicier, warmer fragrance, it still has this pop to it, this freshness to it that I think can be very uplifting even in the evening time. There's clove and pimento, giving it a very spicy but fresh, spicy opening. There's some rose in there to kind of smooth it out. There's a good amount of vanilla. There's praline accord. There's some benzoin and a Papanax deep into the dry down, giving it kind of a dusty, woody, but warm feel. If you look at the house of the Harmonist, the entire fragrance house is kind of centered around this zen, if you will. So every fragrance they have is kind of meant to be uplifting or balancing, if you want to call it that. And I think this fragrance is no different. This is just one of their more gourmand-like offerings, but I definitely think it can be a great mood enhancer. Even though many would kind of call it like a sexy date night fragrance, I think it can do both. So once again, this is Hypnotizing Fire from The Harmonist. All right, next up, from the house of Louis Vuitton, this is Pacific Chill. Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. So this one here, again, nice citrus in the opening, kind of leaning more towards that lemony style for me, but also primarily what you're really getting from this fragrance overall is a lot of fruitiness. Very sweet, kind of creamy fruits, if you will. There's notes like fig in here. There's some dates in here to give it a little bit more of a sweetness to it, but there's also apricot, black currant, a couple of florals to kind of smooth it all out. And that's pretty much what this fragrance is about. That alone makes me feel very happy when I wear this fragrance. It's fruity, but not like juvenile fruity. And also, it's unisex. It's straight down the middle. It's not fruity in a way that, you might think it's too feminine. At least in my opinion, it isn't. I still remember how I reacted when I first got my nose on this fragrance. That lemony citrus opening. Boy, it just made me smile, and I still smile every time I wear this fragrance because it is a very uplifting and mood enhancing fragrance for me. So once again, this is Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. All right, next up from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, this is the latest release, Lamal Elixir. Jean-Paul Gaultier's Lamal Elixir. So this one is a recent, man, that just smells good. Recent acquisition for me. This is obviously going to be, at least in my opinion, the closest but richest version of the original Lamal DNA. Obviously, there's tons of flankers from the Lamal line, but to me, the ones that stay kind of the closest to the original is going to be this one and also Lamal Le Parfum. I did do a comparison between the three as soon as this came in, and this one definitely is the richest but closest. It's very sweet and resinous and ambery and benzoin heavy. There's also still that lavender in there to give it that somewhat cleanliness, but it smells so freaking good that even though it is a rich fragrance, it just is a mood enhancer because of how pleasant it is. I had an opportunity to wear this a couple of times. I loved how it smelled coming off my skin, and also a buddy of mine wore it recently and I was able to kind of pick it up off of him after some time had passed, and it just makes you feel good inside. So definite evening wear, even cooler weather wear type fragrance in general, but it is definitely a mood enhancer in my opinion because it is just so pleasant to the nose. So once again, this is Jean-Paul Gaultier's Lamal Elixir. Next up, from the house of Dior, we have got Dior Homme Sport. Dior Homme Sport. I have talked about this fragrance quite a bit on the channel so far, particularly kind of pertaining to this category, but this is definitely the brightest fragrance out of all the fragrances I have on this list. Very sharp citrus, combined with some spice and elemi resin and also aldehydes, giving it this very bright and clean feel. When this hits your nose, it is so sharp that it's kind of hard for it not to be uplifting. Whenever I kind of spray this fragrance, I think like sunshine just peeking through the windows, because that's how bright the fragrance is. It's also supported with some kind of smoky accord, some clean woodiness, and a little bit of amberiness as well. But the fragrance in general is meant to be just kind of nose piercing bright, so I think that can be a mood enhancer. Could even be the opposite if it's a little too strong or if your allergies are being messed up. This is definitely one I can't wear when my allergies are kind of acting up, so in that instance it's not really mood enhancing as much as it is annoying. But if that's not a problem, mood enhancing fragrance, no question about it in my opinion. So once again, from the house of Dior, we've got Dior Homme Sport. Alright, and last but not least, coming from the house of Mason Francis Kirk John, we've got Grand Soir. Mason Francis Kirk John Grand Soir. So this one, kind of similar to Lamal Elixir, focuses on that warm and sweet and inviting characteristic, but this one is a lot more ambery, a lot more resinous, a lot more sticky also. A little bit more of a spice to this one as well, but this one, if you're familiar with it, you know how great this smells in the air. Almost comfort food like. It is so rich and sweet. My wife has really been on a bender wearing this fragrance lately, so I've really been picking it up a lot off of her. And I gotta say, every time I smell it, it makes me feel good inside. It's so cozy and inviting, and therefore I think it's a mood enhancer, just in a different way from the brighter fragrances. This one is more of the evening wear, warmer, cozy fragrances, but it definitely can be a mood enhancer. I'm gonna have to give this some wears because she is kind of blowing through this bottle right now. I know it's not like empty, but this was pretty much still up to the top until she started rocking with it, so I'm gonna have to get my wears in. Once again, from Mason Francis Kirk John, this is Grand Soir. Alright guys, that was 8 fragrances that I think can be great mood enhancing fragrances. Let me know down in the comments below, what is a fragrance you might go to if you need something to just brighten up your mood for the day or at the end of the day. Thanks for watching all the way into the end. Remember, be well and smell well, and I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.